Palestine analyst at the International Crisis Group. Welcome, Tahani. It's so important to try and stick to the facts in these and try not to be emotive, but that's the most difficult thing to do when you understand how things appear on the surface here. More than 100 people who seem to be starving, rushing for food. Israel says they were firing warning shots. It's a bit hard to correlate that, though, with reports of shelling. You can understand soldiers maybe panicking and firing. I can't understand gunboats panic shelling. It doesn't look very good at all for Israel. Has this just killed any hopes, if you pardon the expression, of any kind of ceasefire?
Well, it's certainly emphasized the need for an immediate ceasefire, but in terms of actually being able to achieve one, as Biden had predicted for Monday, it seems very unlikely now, given what's happened. But I think also to consider, as you said, the use of gunboats, the use of tanks as a method of crowd control, the use of live ammunition as a method of crowd control, is absolutely absurd. How anyone can think that that is an acceptable method to effectively tame what were starving, malnourished Gazans is an absolute, moral atrocity.
The United States has been pretty steadfast in its support of Israel. It's blocked several votes at the UN Security Council, and just in the last 24 hours since that incident, it's blocked even a statement, I believe it was coming from Algeria, condemning Israel's actions. Is there anything that could happen that would get America to oppose Israel in Gaza?
It seems very unlikely. I mean, even now, the Americans are saying that they're pushing for answers when you have the UN aid chief who has come out and said that the life is being drained out of Gaza, where you have, huge amounts of circumstantial evidence to implicate Israel in what they have done. Not only that, this has been systematic in the north, where we've seen aid truck drivers targeted by Israeli snipers, where there have been deliberate limitations on the amount of aid that can actually reach the north, where starvation has been used as a weapon of war here. Unfortunately, yesterday's incident isn't even the worst of some of the crimes that we've seen come out of Gaza. And even that has not been enough to put any kind of red line in the US terms, in terms of what Israel is and isn't allowed to do in Gaza. And this simply hasn't changed things. I mean, the US's statement in terms of seeking answers, expecting the IDF to investigate something like this, where again, we have seen systematic failures of the IDF to investigate anything it has been implicated in. I think Hind Rajab was probably the worst to come out of it, where they have completely denied even being present at the scene when we have audio recordings. Even in this incident, where their own drone footage implicates them in this. So no, I mean, this will not be enough to pressure the US to do anything really. And that has been pretty clear in its statements yesterday when it has asked for answers from the IDF.
Tahani, thanks so much for coming on the programme. Tahani Mustafa, my guest. She's a Palestine analyst at the International Crisis Group.